Hello to my Pisces. All right, this is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. All right, Pisces, the moon has moved from Cancer into Leo. All right, so happy first of the month. It's the beginning of this middle of the year, June. That's right, we're in June already. So talking to you wherever Pisces is in your birth chart. Pisces rules 12th house. It's all about your psychic abilities. It's all about uncovering secrets. It's all about addictions. It's all about world endings. Yeah, it's all about spirituality. Like I said, psychic abilities, emotions, world service, endings, solitude. Healing, all of those things, right? So yeah, it's the moon card. It's the moon card, right? So, and it's the I believe sign. So like really believing in your dreams again. So really believing in your dreams again. So when the moon is in Cancer, you start thinking, okay, what were my dreams before? Like what dreams did I have of creating? What were my dreams when I was younger? What did I want to be when I grow up, right? I am a magnet for brilliant ideas, right? So somebody has a lot of really, really good ideas. So think about like what is your purpose? What is your life's purpose? So if somebody wants to pull their birth chart to find out what their life's purpose is. Great place to start. Birth chart. Let's see what the angel number is. Yeah. Magnet for brilliant ideas. And so that moon in Leo will give you the confidence to really go for it. So if you have some brilliant ideas, that moon in Leo will give you the confidence to really go for it. And some of the questions that you could think about would be, what part of me is ready to shine more brightly? How can I reclaim my personal power in a bold and authentic way? What is blocking me from fully expressing my confidence? Those are some things that you can think about, like in terms of brilliant ideas that you have. Like what is it, like confidently can you start expressing? So honor your goals. So examine your current opportunities. And so it's time to get structure. So somebody, both in your personal and your professional life, somebody is really starting to think honoring your goals. So examine your current opportunities. So it's time to redirect, to make decisions that honor your goals rather than short-term gratification. So the current opportunities presented to you need careful examination. Consider at this moment how your current daily activities feed into your long-term visions. Ask yourself now if they will help you or hold you back from your ultimate dreams and goals, right? So 994, honor your goals, examine your current opportunities. So yeah, and so that's why the number 4 is like getting structured. Pray about it and get it structured. Yep. So let's see. So 2 things may have ended, and so now it's time to create. Like, what are you trying to create? So 2 things that may have ended could be with people, places, or things. And so now you're saying, okay, now I have some room to create something. So let me get structured. That's some brilliant ideas, some things I want to create. What does that look like? What does that look like? Root chakra cleanse. Root chakra cleanse. It's like pulling up some weeds and like planting some new seeds. So your mental health is just as important as your physical health, right? So you are who they prayed for. So do the mirror work. You are a star, meaning that you have a north node to follow. It's all becoming clearer now. So now somebody's starting to think, okay, I know I have purpose. And that's everything that the creator created was for a purpose, his own unique purpose. So that's what's becoming clear. It's like nobody has any competition. Much better lies ahead. Let's let go and let God. Somebody has a bitter ex whose lover wants them to child. Anyway, he apologizes for betraying you. I don't know who he is. So he could be the person down the street. I don't know. But so you have the gift of telepathy. This is the transference of thoughts, feelings, or ideas intuitively, emotively, superconsciously, right? Somebody that could have been a friend that you considered as family. Family is not always blood relative. Family could be work family. It could be a friend that you know how people say, this my brother, this my sister. Family. People call people family. Like when I do my like I was about to say morning announcements. When I put in my messages up for YouTube, what I would say, you know, rise and shine family. You know, that's sending it out to all of the subscribers, right? So the subbies, right? So that's family, right? So anyway, so family. People say use the word family, cousins, family, right? That kind of thing. So family is family. But anyway, so you have the gift of telepathy. Whoever he is, you would have to pray to source to find out who he is, whoever he is. But he apologizes for betraying you. So it could be several he's, whoever he is, apologizes for betraying you. So somebody, and I guess source will tell you, but somebody's a succubus spirit. I don't know who that is. But Angel Uriel, the angel of prophecy and wisdom, is with you. So somebody could have some prophetic gifts. You could be very wise. And that's got him right there, helping you use some wisdom, but get some fresh air. Feel like you're going to get some fresh air. Don't cast your pearls before swine. In other words, don't waste good things on people who won't appreciate them. I feel like somebody may just kind of go with the flow and maybe tell people like what you're about to create before you're finished creating something. And maybe people kind of copy your ideas. So you may not want to do that. Kind of have a lot of copycats out here. So you may not want to do that. So, like I said, you having brilliant ideas, you may tell people ahead of time. And you got to be real careful with technology, too. So somebody's learning something at the root. When you plant seeds to grow, you may, you know, have some people close to you that you're saying, oh, okay, this person is close to me now. You know, you're just talking and telling people, because this is the energy I'm picking up. Is that you think people that's sitting close to you, you're just talking and you're just saying, oh, I was thinking about doing so and so. They could be talking to, you know, whoever they're in a relationship with or friendship with or whatever, and that person could be your secret competitor, you know, and you know it. So, and that person could be a succubus. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, is like you never know who is in bed with whom, in business or in love. So somebody is learning. So here's a start. So start with this reads it's 11th house. So 11th house. So that person could be looking for, let's say for instance you're a parent and you have a son or daughter and they're in a relationship with somebody who sees you as their competition. I know, go figure. They see you as their competition, and you never even knew that they saw you as competition. Or let's say their parents see you as a parent as competition. You never even looked at it that way. You're just going along with the flow. You're like, what? I'm just having a conversation. And they sitting there just soaking up all your brilliant ideas, making money off of it. So your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Sometimes you don't know until, bam, then you like, wow, okay. So source is saying, don't cast your pearls before swine. You have the gift of telepathy. Move on. Yeah. So you have a wealth of knowledge, wealth of, you know, just go it along. Page of Pentacles. I feel like somebody's about to feel like you have a message that you have a whole new lease on life. Yeah, a whole new lease on life. And that is how people get a whole new lease on life, and that's how people are built tough. That's why people are become loners, because I'm telling you, that is the reason why people are demonized for being by themselves. That's why people start becoming, they built tough. That's why some people are built that way. They create by themselves. So source needs you to do the mirror work. Here's the King of Swords here. So, I see you in a leadership position here. So somebody's talking leadership position. So this is where the new lease on life for you is. It's like being part of a team, but a leader. Being, you know, being a part of a team of leaders, right? And being very successful. Being very, very successful. And being part of a team and being very, very successful. So remember, the thing that we learned about this this cycle in particular is the duality of a person. So you could have encountered a low vibrating Pisces, right? You could be a high vibrating Pisces that came in contact with a low vibrating Pisces, right? Somebody who is gullible, someone who is lazy, right? You could be a Pisces who is not lazy and someone who is not gullible, right? Who could have come in contact with a low vibrating Pisces, who is not so Source is just saying to you, you are, somebody here is very smart and someone who has a wealth of, you know, like a wealth of resources right here. So you have this whole new lease on life and you're a team player. So, yeah. And that's you being very successful. So, there it is. So somebody is putting in the work. Somebody putting in the work. So it's whatever way you look at it. You can look at it however you want to look at it. So let's see. I see you feeling being very conservative with your time behind closed doors. I see you being very conservative with your time behind closed doors. You and somebody are very conservative with your time. A team behind closed doors. Let me see, 5, 5, and 3, yeah. And then here we have the Queen of Cups here. So I see you pouring into yourself more, because you can't pour from an empty cup, and putting the past behind you, finally putting the past behind you. So again, I don't know who he is. You have to pray about it, ask God who he is, but you're moving on. You're moving on behind the distraction, beyond the distractions. But something has just been overwhelming for you. So somebody has come in contact with a low vibrating Pisces. You come in contact with a low vibrating Pisces. And I'll mention this like I mentioned in the other videos, before somebody starts saying team, whatever your zodiac sign is, because the way I read cards is sometimes I read them traditional way, and I'll announce if I'm reading it the traditional way. But I speak to every part of the birth chart when I'm reading cards, not just sun, rising, moon, Venus. That's why I encourage, please pull your birth chart, speaking to every placement in your birth chart. Source is trying to teach somebody how to live a softer life, like know exactly up front who to invest time with. This right here, so that you're not over investing time / money. Time is money. Like who invest your time with and who not to invest your time with. Like to keep your vibrations high, so you'll know exactly who to invest your time with and who not to. So when you keep your vibrations high, you won't get easily overwhelmed. That's what Source is trying to tell you. You know exactly which path to run with, right? Where you work best. Do you work best during the day? Do you work best at night? Everybody who uses the moon does not use dark moon magic. Some people use the moon for like charging their gemstones and crystals. Like I mentioned when I talk about charging people gemstones and crystals. Not everybody uses the moon for darkness, like for dark practices. Just like all Pisces are not the same, right? You got some very high vibrating Pisces. but you also have low vibrating Pisces. So some of you all have encountered some very low vibrating Pisces, right? So Source is trying to help you. It's like you've encountered some low vibrating Capricorn, you've encountered some low vibrating Aquarius, you've encountered some low vibrating Taurus, you've encountered some low vibrating Leos. You know, you've encountered some low vibrating energy. So Source is saying to you, before you say Team Pisces, you're going to start saying Team High Vibrating. If you're high vibrating Pisces, you're going to start saying Team High Vibrating Pisces. Yeah. So I try to differentiate between the two, right? So if you know you're not low vibrating, my readings are speaking to high vibration. So someone is emotionally mature enough to be able to differentiate. Yeah. So you're on the rebirth side. So something it puts to an end. Right? When you're dealing with low vibrating Pisces, you'll end it very soon. Like, you won't even spend time, for instance, if you're a high vibrating Pisces, you won't even spend time that long around it. See this right here? Because a low vibrating Pisces will overwhelm you. It literally will overwhelm you being around a low. Because if you're a person that's putting in hard work and you're a team player, and them being lazy and gullible all the time around you, for you, it's just draining. Because you're a hardworking person. Why? Because you could have come from a very hardworking family. Maybe your mom, dad, you came from a family of entrepreneurs. Let's say you're that kind of a Pisces, right? Where people are just built that way. They all about getting up. You never saw your parents just sitting around the house, just waiting for, you know, they just waiting on something. You saw your parents get up and work every single day. You saw them being entrepreneurs. Like, you saw your grandparents get up and work every single day. You saw them start businesses and stuff. So to be around a Pisces that's just sitting around just waiting on something, that would frustrate you to no end, right? You would end that, like, you'd be like, So you could relate to somebody who would say that. You'd be like, oh, nah. That's definitely not me. So if you heard a reading and somebody was talking about a low vibrating Pisces, you'd be like, that wouldn't even offend you. They'd be like, oh, that's definitely not. They don't even sound like me. So that's what I'm seeing here. So again, yeah. So some things when people are tuned in to readings, certain things shouldn't even offend certain people when they team. Certain things you wouldn't even invest. Certain people, even as a reader, and I'm listening to readings, certain things don't even. Yeah, companionship. So giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Certain things you shouldn't even give any energy to. If you know it doesn't connect to you, you know that's not who you are. It's, okay. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here in the cards. Yeah, so yeah. There's a justice card here. Somebody was dealing with two vain, vengeful, green with envy spirits. Yeah, somebody who really just did not want to put the work in. Somebody who wanted to kind of ride off other people's coattails. Who wanted to somehow chain themselves to other people's coattails. That's what this is. Somebody wanted to chain themselves. They were obsessed with chaining themselves to other people's dreams. Like wanting to attach themselves to other people's dreams. This is what somebody was doing. They wanted to chain themselves to other people's, obsessed with chaining themselves to other people's dreams. And that's what came to light. They didn't want to put the work in themselves. Just doing stuff behind people's backs, obsessed with following people around the world. I mean, just anything to chain themselves to somebody else's dreams. So, yeah. Yeah, like I said, somebody's a succubus energy. So, yeah, if you hear Pisces, don't always, even if let's say your Chiron is Pisces and you tune in to or let's say your 8th or 9th house is Pisces, whatever. If it doesn't apply, it just doesn't apply. But somebody was dealing with a very low vibrating Pisces, very unhealthy, wounded Pisces, who was just overwhelmed. So yeah, somebody's doing the energy work and kind of getting out moving a little bit more. Kind of getting out moving a little bit more, right? Get that aura layer, like doing an aura cleansing, spiritual aura cleansing, and get the chakras all aligned. Yep, so I think this is it. Yeah, but something is becoming clearer and clearer, so somebody is very clear-headed about something. But yeah, if you know you come from a family where people are hardworking people, and you know that you're a magnet for brilliant ideas, and you're a hardworking person, okay, so yeah, that's kind of been like the two elephants in the room. So, but all of this pentacles here is family members, like in a physical sense, like family being the elephants in the room. And I'm not saying like in terms of like somebody's size, obviously, but I mean like the family has been kind of like the presence that's been causing the confusion, really. The doing stuff behind people's backs and not having people's backs. That's kind of been the elephants in the room. The dark side of Venus, not knowing that family could be a gift, but they really haven't been. They could have been as much family as people have. They could have been the gift, but they weren't the gift. They could have been the team that could have helped, you know, with something, but instead just too much distraction, chaos and confusion, obsessed with, you know, other people's dreams and being a star and all this. They could have helped with all this family around. Nobody's helping, couldn't get things in alignment. That people got to go through all the stuff going on behind people's back. Anyway, so I was just saying, looking at the cards here, somebody was dealing with a very low vibrating Pisces. Not you who's tuned in. Whoever you are tuned in is probably very high vibrational, very sunny, very positive, whatever. But somebody was dealing with low vibrating energies. Yeah, that was giving people a nightmare. Giving two people a nightmare. Anyway, that's it. Let me see here. These two. So yeah, somebody's definitely doing the energy work and kind of getting out, moving around a little bit more. I'm trying to think if there's something else going on with that's 2, 3. So yeah, somebody is going to be real mindful of who you give your time to, your energy to, in terms of companionship. I thought I know I had another deck of oracle cards here. I think that's it. I think that's it here. Yeah, but anyway, somebody has psychic abilities. Yeah, I think this is, oh, was this a deck? Okay. yeah, don't hide. Dare to dream big. Remind yourself that everything is possible. Don't hide your talents and abilities, but use them to build your world. You decide. When you give of yourself freely, you expand your energy. If you only give to get, it will feel like a burden or drain. Be genuine. Give from your heart. Rejuvenate yourself. Know your limits and allow them to guide you. Limitations can teach you to take better care of yourself. You have full permission to rest and say no. Receiving it all. You deserve to receive abundance at full capacity. Believe in your worth and trust that the universe is ready to deliver all that you desire. Open up. The pause is the shift. Your past is now behind you. All you desire is right in front of you. Pause to reconnect with your power and follow the pull of your destiny. And then whatever you wish. So when you lessen the importance of problems and suffering, life will swing back into balance. Stop the struggle and feel the peace. The world responds to you. Yeah, so somebody have a, see how this person is sitting in front of a tree? Yeah. I feel like somebody, wherever you are right now, you're going to plant some roots that's going to be there for a long time, like maybe for generations to come. Whatever roots you plant, they're gonna go real deep, and that's where you're gonna grow. But that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. But yeah, this is the beauty of the cycle that we're in. When we had that new moon in Gemini, is that you're learning the difference between high vibrating, and of course there's variations of that, right? The frequency, like high vibrating Pisces and low vibrating Pisces. But somebody was dealing with a very low vibrating Pisces. That you can now see set you apart from them. You could be a very high vibrating Pisces that just is not into a bunch of drama, high vibrating energy. You probably you put a lot of time, you invest a lot of time into whatever it is you're doing. Hard working. You may come from just hard working parents, for real. Like you just invest whatever, you just invest your time in what you're doing. So, but that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. See you in the next video. Bye.